Whenever we put a camera into our rental department here at AbelCine, we have to kit it out with all these bunch of little accessories just to make it work the way we feel is convenient and functional for our clients. So here's what we've done with the RED EPIC and Scarlet cameras. The camera itself is just this box right here in the center. Then you have RED's hand grip on the side, and that is control functions for the camera as well as holding a battery for short-term period use of the camera. You also have a viewfinder mount, RED's viewfinder on the side here with their viewfinder mount. And then we had to go to third parties for other accessories. So on the bottom, it's hard to see it down tucked under there. So I have a separate one here. This is from Wooden Camera. This is the Easy Riser. The Easy Riser does two things. One, it takes lightweight 15 rods, this separate accessory mount that you would add to the Easy Riser so that you can have support rods running out the front for matte box, follow focus, such like that. But also this gives the correct height and spacing so that you could then attach a studio bridge plate, such as the Element Technica Hybrid. You have 19, or it can come in Studio 15 rod support, so that you can then attach big lenses and support them in large matte boxes and such like that. On the top of the camera, you remove the top plate of the camera and replace it with the Wooden Camera Easy Top X. And that has a bazillion little 1/4, 20 and 3/8 holes to mount whatever you may find you need to mount for a given shoot on the top of the camera. Plus it has venting so that the camera's exhaust system can vent the hot air out of the camera. For mounting the common accessories on here, there's a system that's borrowed from the military called Picatinny or SWAT Rail or Nato Rail. And that is a very convenient system. If you look at this rail right here, this is separate from the top plate. This is a Nato rail. This particular one is from Wooden Camera. This is their 100mm Nato rail. They also make it in a smaller one in 70 and a larger one in 150mm, depending wherever you might want to mount it. We have two of the 100mm size. And I like what on here, they have these little spring-mounted pins, and those are safety pins. So if this is the Nato clamp right there, and that's what can mount onto here. And there's other things that can mount onto these as well. But I put that on, I haven't tightened it, won't come off. That's what these safety pins are about. I tighten this in place, and this is actually a ratcheting kip handle, so that spring mounted, put it wherever I find convenient. On top of the Nato clamp here is the Wooden Camera top handle. This is the cheese version because it's full of holes. It's got a 1/4, 20 and 3/8 holes on all four of these surfaces, as well as a big hole in the center going through it that will take a 19mm rod. Just take a bolt, lock that down in place, and you can mount whatever you want to hang over the lens or something here. And you can also, they have a bushing so that you can put a lightweight, a 15mm rod in there instead. If you don't want to use the cheesed out version, they also have it in leather, and they have a rubberized version as well. I kind of like just having the option for more mounting points. That's one SWAT rail on the front. On the one in the back, you have RED's monitor. And the thing about this monitor is this is a touchscreen, and you need it to have access to a lot of menus and controls in the camera, but you want to protect it as well. You don't want this is an LCD monitor. So I take it and go like that. That is floating there, totally untouched. Nothing's going to hurt that screen. And that is actually how we pack this in our case. So it's all built like this, complete. That's a very safe way to operate, and it's really convenient. And again, I can slide that off the rail and put it up front if I wanted to work with it that way, but I can then pack it back in the case just like that, nice and neat. Over here is the A-box, which is just audio breakout, 2 jacks right there, 2 cables that plug into where the audio outputs are of the camera up there. And this post that comes with it can mount on any 1/4, 20 hole. I like it over here because then the cables just run out to the back and are kept out of the way. And lastly is power. Where do I put a battery? The one that goes in here is only for a short while. So we have a battery plate, and this is mounted to this mounting point here, which RED uses for their remote and for accessories that can stack up here. But if you're not using it for that, that's what a great spot to put your battery. So you have the quick back from Wooden Camera, which is just a clip. So the little spring-loaded thing goes on there, and you can screw it on if you want to make it a more solid connection. And you have a Swittronics plate, which then will plug directly into the camera. And you can see if you do have accessory modules, they have the mount on the back as well. So you could get a lot of them on there with the standard cable, and they even make a longer cable for it. And in addition to the V-Mount from Swittronics, you can also get an Anton-Bauer version that would go right on there as well and plug straight into the camera. So it's a pretty convenient setup. This is how we rent the camera at AbelCine, and all these bits and pieces from third parties are available for purchase from us as well.